Start video transmission. Are we live?
This all goes on Facebook?
Yep, it says I'm live. We're not sure. Episode 1. I gotta do it without actually hearing it because it'll mess me all up. So if we're here, hello, welcome.
What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna run to Facebook real quick and see if I can see. Oh no, we're on.
We're live? Wow.
We're live.
Episode 1. Somebody share this. Actually, I'm in. I'll share
You
this.
got it?
Yeah, if you're already there, go for it. Go for it. All right, welcome.
We saw how slow I was with technology.
Fair enough. Welcome to episode 1 of our ACST podcast. The default name we're going with is from the Office of the Commissioner because, you know, alongside me here is Danny Finn, Commissioner of ACST, who's taking it over. What's it been, 4 seasons
I think
now?
this is my 4th season.
4 seasons since you've taken it over, and it's expanded from pro and semi-pro all the way down to an E division and now West, where West has 4 10-bowler divisions.
We're up to 184 bowlers.
That's a lot of bowling.
It's a lot of bowling. I think. It's
how many more matches left?
Games. Like 1651, something like
Perfect.
that. Let's see how many matches got reported in.
Did you check? Terry Churn Butter just bowled, so we gotta check his too. So, got a few viewers in here today. Who we get? Let's see if we can see who's joining us because this is episode 1, so we really appreciate you here. I'm gonna open it on Facebook too, so I can keep up with the viewers that pop in. But I gotta mute it real fast because I don't want to echo myself. All right. So this is episode 1. We're gonna go through all things ACST tonight. We're gonna talk rules. We're gonna talk form submissions, divisions, pace of play, getting your matches in, Nate Lees, paying your treasurers because there are plenty of treasurers, and just what the league is about. As we go on, we'll highlight some bowlers that have put on great performances. Like right now, I got to give a nod to Terry. As you guys know on Facebook, I do. He'll yell at me tomorrow. He's on my team. He's on my team Wednesdays.
It was a great 601.
601 in his first match.
Terry?
Yeah, 601 in his first ACST match as a C bowler. Came into the league, picked up for somebody, and inherited, I think, like an 0-35 record.
No,
more than that?
It wasn't because Frank Turner took that spot over.
Oh, okay.
He had won a couple. He had won a couple points, and then from there Terry took over for Frank, and but he was behind the 8 ball by several points, and he made a run.
Like I said, I have double audio. Let me know if that sounds better if I stop the echo. But yeah, no, he made a great run, fell a little bit short, was probably the hottest bowler in that division from the time he took over on, and got the opportunity this year to say he was going to be in D, kind of given the option to say, do I move up? Should I stay? I think he talked to both of us about his options, and he decided to move up.
Yep.
Yeah, he decided to move up, and I think it's obviously a hell of a start for him. Hey, Lane, how you doing tonight? Hell of a start, 601, first match. Poor win Trafton, but he did it to Jordan with the exact same score last year. He threw a 601 at Jordan. So, yeah, 150 middle game, and that's going to be a tough one to beat in high single already, and it's match number 1.
Yeah, it might be over. There was somebody had made a comment to me a while ago saying that somebody could have sent. We were talking about that rule last year of if somebody has the high and has to drop due to injury. And somebody said, well, what happens if somebody throws a big game 1 and then just quits hoping to get the prize fund?
Right. Yeah, that's...
I don't think he's going to quit, but...
He actually just texted me, said, I quit. I want my high single. Weird. That's odd. But no, it's...
typing it as I was thinking.
You gave him the idea, actually. First 150, first 600. Yeah, a 120 average in C to start the year. Obviously, we get just 5 games under his belt there, but we'd be remiss not to start the night because we're kind of following that match to say what a good job he did. I'm going to give myself a little credit because after his first half, he threw like a 43 front half. I texted him because I saw him doing something wrong, made the correction, then had a 69 back half, and then went crazy the rest of the way. So I'm taking credit for that 601.
So what I'm hearing is, as a representative of the league office, you are now available to all bowlers when you see something wrong.
Absolutely, 100%. If I see any bowler...
ACST matches.
Let me preface. Any bowler that I at least have had a conversation with enough to know if they take criticism well, then yeah, if I see something, I will always... I've said it to you. I've said, like, hey, you're locking your elbow too much. You're like, there's stuff I can see. I can't always replicate it myself and, like, fix my own problems. But if I see somebody doing something, and I'm like, hey, I like this guy. I want to see him do better. I like to see good bowling. I'm going to tell him to fix it.
Terry has, in fact, not submitted his scores, by the way.
Oh, so it's no
They
official
don't count.
600. Yep.
And it does not count yet. He does not have the high single. So unfortunately, because he just quit per you, he does not get any money.
Sorry, buddy. It was worth a shot. All right, so where do we begin? ACST underway. We're in week 1. Matches are scheduled. Matches have happened. West, they've already happened. I think A is the only one. Have I seen? Oh, there's actually a match scheduled for A because I think Paul said he's covering Logan versus Tyler Reese, I think it was.
Yep, that makes sense. They're in the same division. I actually got a match against Pete. I think we all forget that I am in the A now. I forget sometimes too, and then I look at my schedule and I go, "Oh crap, that's right." But myself and Pete are going to be bowling right after the Pro Series in Millis.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a good day to do it. And yeah, that's the big one, Kate, is I have to have talked to them prior because, like, again, I can't judge who can take bowling criticism because some people will get absolutely.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah, they love it so much. Sometimes you talk to somebody, like, if I said to Josh Daly on a Wednesday night, "Hey, Josh, you're doing this," he might literally put a bowling ball through the floor. So I can't with certain people.
Start giving them advice.
Lane, I'll keep an eye when you're bowling. Since I don't see you on Wednesdays anymore, I'll keep an eye when you're bowling your ACST matches and shout out if you got anything that can see. Because you'll take criticism better than your son does. No offense, Jordan.
Burn. Burn.
But yeah, no, it's we're excited for a new year. I always say at the beginning of the year I'm going to try and cover some matches, but scheduling with a 6-month-old baby or almost 6-month-old baby gets a little bit tough.
You got your own bowling too, so
yeah,
you got a lot going on.
Couple nights and then the once a month Pro Series, so it gets a little busy. But
yeah, absolutely. I'm sure maybe playoff time or something, but
yeah, I like to try and figure it out. Like if it's a night that I got nothing going on,
yeah,
Kenny Hodgkins showing up. But yeah, if it's a night that I got nothing going on, I have no problem heading over to Academy or Lakeside because those are pretty 20 minutes-ish apart from me. So, yeah, I don't mind if I can. But for those of you that aren't familiar with Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, this was a league started by Frank DeLuca and Mike Machichi back, what were we, 2016, 17?
Lamoni was part of that, too.
Lamoni was the first treasurer and still hanging around doing his thing.
Yeah.
So Rich was there at the beginning, and it's basically a head-to-head scratch league. Started out with just, I think, one division when it first opened to just travel. Everybody picks a house. You bowl your matches, submit scores.
Back then too, there was like a set amount of people that could be at each house too. I think it was like there was a Millis division, a CPL. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think you could have like 5 people out of the same house.
It makes sense.
Not a rule in force right now. Let me tell you.
Yeah, no, it's that's to be a tough one to enforce with especially the South. You guys pretty much own the South down at RFA Millis.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been the same premise. The only thing that's changed is the amount of bowlers that are in, expanding it to all levels of bowler. If you're just coming back to bowling, if you've just starting to bowl and you have what you feel is a low average, there's a division for you. It's E all the way up to A. So you're not going to be pit up head to head against Josh Daly and Justin Waters your first match. You're gonna start where you belong if you decide to join. So all those bowlers out there that have contemplated it, reach out. You can see bowlers like Terry, perfect example, who went from no competitive bowling to jump right into this and went off to end the season and then just started with a bang this season.
Mid-year F add-in.
Yep.
Got good enough for D by average. Had a dancing partner to flip to C. And 14-0, so he's at least tied for first place right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once he submits his scores, of course.
Once he submits his scores. Right now, I think he's tied with everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't know how many scores have come in yet.
Yep. So let's go through the life of an ACST bowler now that the season has begun. If anybody watched the other night, it wasn't public. It was only the bowlers only, but some of the bowlers that are in here, I went live, did a schedule randomization or a division randomization, which then Danny so graciously went and filled in every single bowler into the schedule with his find and replace, and then had to do it with every house for every bowler, and then built Google Sheets.
That's actually harder, believe it or not.
Yeah, Danny and I have worked well together on Excel sheets, so just some of the stuff that goes into what he does is behind the scenes that's super underrated in terms of commissioner, not only putting up with the headaches of the bowlers, no offense to any of the bowlers in here, I'm sure you're all great, but the scheduling headaches, the complaints, when's the season going to end, who's behind on matches, who's behind on payments, all that stuff.
But we have the committee's been great. Like for people who don't realize, like, and this is kind of what I want to bring into it is this behind the scenes stuff. We have a group chat myself, Rich, Cory, Anthony, Nate, Maurice, and Sean. Last year Ryan was in, but with the F folding, and he decided to step down for the year. But we've always been lucky to have a good committee, and when we have these types of complaints, it's never just a quick decision. We have these long conversations. We vote on almost everything. We try to make sure that we're making the best decision for the league. And even if something comes to me and it's kind of a 50-50, and Cory can attest to this, I'll ask a question and say, what are your thoughts on this rule? But I won't mention who the bowler is requesting it or who it offended, because I want it to be as unbiased as possible when we're discussing any type of rule changes, to make sure that it's fair for the whole league.
And even I'll message Danny on the side and be like, "Can you tell me who it is?" Because I'm curious. And
Now
he'll say vote first, and then I'll tell you. And then I'm like, all right, now then I can't change my vote based on who it is.
Now you send it to me. Now that I voted.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, but the committee is excellent. We have great discussions. We have open discussions where we have differing opinions, because there's all different walks of the bowling community within our group.
We've been tied before with some heated.
Oh yeah,
discussions.
And that's what it is. Like, we have such a good rapport that we're not afraid to disagree, and then we know when our limit is and say, okay, we're at a very close vote here. This is one that goes into a public poll versus this is one we can decide on ourselves because it's a pretty unanimous decision. So yeah, it's been a great team effort. Like, even payment wise, like, we've seen, hey, I have so and so as a bowler. He was in your division last year. Did he have payment problems? Is something going on? Like, what's the approach to this bowler with certain collection methods? Yep. So it's good, and it's a lot of veteran leadership from guys that have done this for quite a while.
Some people don't do the e-pay, as I called it. They want, like, hand you a check or hand you the cash.
Yep.
So, like Cory's saying, sometimes we need to have that relationship. Like, I think there's been times where Cory's actually collected registration for me because the bowler didn't have an e-pay, so they met him at Academy or something like that. I think that was last year.
Yep, and then this year, like, you don't have Zelle, I had Zelle, yep. So somebody sent me another registration. So yeah, we work out. Yeah, the balance is exceptional with what we do. Craig, I don't want to miss people that came in. Billy Shiner said, hi, Danny Finn. He doesn't want to talk to me. Jeff Little says, Shiner. Holy cow, this actually did happen. I have had a podcast too. For a long time. I'm always podcasting, so yeah. Micah says 9 matches out of 1,942 have been completed. So that's I'm assuming that counts the West too. So yeah, it's
well, it's got to be, right? It's so if you think about it, it's 184 bowlers, and then it's 9 home matches each. So 1,656.
That's crazy. Craig Wester, hi, how's it going, buddy? Nick Blundo, what's going on? But yeah, no, it's a great committee we have. We said a lot of work behind the scenes with these guys. You don't get enough credit. You won't sing your own praises for what you do behind the scenes, but I want to make sure to throw that out there, because the spreadsheet alone, I think we started something a couple of years ago, you and I, putting that together, and then now the automation that you've been able to put into it to build different things is just on another level, which has made stat tracking and win-loss and score entry just absolutely seamless to put in most of the time.
Billy says that he figured every time I try to click reply, because I don't want to interrupt what you're saying, it opens the video and I don't want the audio to play.
Yeah, that's why I have mine open on the other screen, but it's completely muted.
Should have done that. Now I'm too late to do that.
Yeah, and you're in too deep now.
So, do we want to go over some of the rules and some things that we changed from this year for last year?
Yeah, I don't want to pull up the whole rule book because I don't want to bore the dickens out of people. But we will.
The couple big ones were. There is conduct rules. You can be suspended or even forfeit the league and any winnings if there's conduct issues. This is behavior on the lanes, temper tantrums. We all get heated. So we're not saying that this is, a kids league, but we're talking where it's getting to a point of making people genuinely uncomfortable. And when you're getting to that level, this isn't the league for that. We want to make sure that this is fun for everybody, competitive for everybody, but not to a point where you're smashing ball racks, damaging equipment. I mean, that's an issue in of itself. We want to be able to come back to these houses.
Yes.
And we don't want the reputation of, we have a bunch of hotheads bowling in this league that destroys property, that people get nervous when they come to your house. That's not what we want. Yeah. And if we find out that you're that kind of person, we used to, it was going to be at the end of the season. It can now happen mid-season. There'll be a warning first. If it happens again, you forfeit any prize money, any record, anything like that.
And the
The
big thing,
second,
I think back on the conduct thing, I think that one thing that some bowlers tend to forget, especially in the heat of competition, Candlepin Bowling House is a family place. Like,
yeah,
so you get a lot of, if you're throwing F bombs out there loudly, like everybody does that, you throw a ball, you mutter it under your breath, whatever. Fine.
yeah,
If you're shouting it when you get kids 2-3 lanes over from you, you're yelling obscenities at your ball, at your opponent, at whatever it may be. Like, just you got to remember, like these are children. This
yeah.
is a game that we love to play since we were kids, most of us. Like, so don't ruin it for other kids, and
Right.
like
And
give them a
we don't
terrible
want,
experience.
we also, yeah, we don't want families to decide we're not going back to bowling because these people, not even that they're ACST at that point. It's just when they go to a bowling alley, they see things they don't want to be around. They're not going to want to go bowling. And without
Exactly.
future bowlers, league bowlers, like where are we going with this game? Like just they're not shutting down the house for these matches. Let's be courteous and work with the house, not against the house.
Without a doubt. Yeah, Pat Lowe, I think it is. Yeah, that's something that we'll address. We just got notified of that recently in the committee, so something will be out about that. I'm
It'll
sure
be a
shortly.
post.
And Ryan, how you doing, buddy? Ryan Drago. And Kate, yes, correct. We aren't renting these out. We are a guest, like Danny said. We are guests in these houses. Be the reason they keep bowling.
I
That's a
like
great
that.
way to put it, Craig.
I like that a lot.
So yeah, one
So
rule change number one: don't be an a-hole when you're
yeah,
bowling.
it's a great rule. Rule number two is the dress code. We used to say that it could only be given a warning if it was a grievance by the other bowler. We're not doing that anymore because I think a lot of people are just using that to skirt the rule and ask the other bowler, "Hey, do you mind if I wear a hat?" This is trying to represent as a professional league. That's why we really encourage streaming as much as we can. We know some houses can't do it. We know some people don't like to be streamed, and we completely understand all of that. But at the end of the day, if we can help promote this game, you know, we don't know where this could take it. I have visions that probably are bigger than they're ever going to be, but let's give it the best chance to try to represent ourselves in the best way. When you're watching golf, they don't dress in, sweatpants and hoodies. They look presentable, and we just want to act in the same way. So there's no hats, no sunglasses unless there's some type of prescription, collared or bowling shirt. Um, the thing about the shirt, and it's come up before, if you ordered a shirt, if you ordered an ACST shirt from Kate and it hasn't come in yet, because she's actually working on them as we speak and commenting, uh, it's going to take a couple, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not really sure. And then we got to figure out how to get them to all the houses. So if you're in the middle of, you haven't got the shirt yet and you don't have a collared shirt and you wear something nice, that's all we ask. Like, we know you already made the attempt. You're not curtailing the rule.
Yeah,
But
we have a grace period. We like
yeah,
there's some leeway at the beginning of the season, especially that things happen. Like the shirts. I think there was one year that the shirts got delivered, but then nobody could find them, and then
yeah,
eventually they got found. Like so, there's exceptions to the rule, especially at the beginning of the year. But
yep.
it's obvious
Especially
when certain
playoffs.
people, yes, once you get to playoffs, like there's no excuse at that point to
Yeah,
not be dressed professionally because I run the free agency sheet for mixed in men's. I see the number of ACST bowlers that get a taste for the competitive side, and all of a sudden they're you know what, I'm gonna throw my name in the hat. If somebody grabs me, great. If you're showing up to men's worlds in a t-shirt and gym shorts and a hat on, you are not going to touch the lane. Like that's
yeah,
that's a rule. That's you have to look professional. No, there was even a discussion to rule out cargo shorts a couple years ago because they wanted it to be golf shorts or golf pants or something a little classier. They ended up allowing them in because they're still a belted short. I think
yeah.
is what like something along that.
Sure.
But yeah, shirt gate. Touch on a sponsor shirt. Okay, we'll get to that in a second, Dave. But yeah, so you're if you're going to get into the competitive community, it's the expectance across all of competitive bowling that when you compete in high level tournaments, that you're going to dress professionally.
Yeah,
And
and
I think that's something that's lost in the game these days.
yeah. So that's going to be a little bit more enforced. That can be either fines and disinvitation from the league for future years. And like Cory's saying, like it's just a bad look. Like we're trying to get the best image we can. And again, that also I think falls back to um, the representing the game, how you carry yourself in an alley. Like just when you're doing that, you want to be when you're streaming, especially. Don't you don't want to be screaming obscenities. You don't know who's watching or who, who might be turned off to the game based on how you're acting.
Oh, hey,
Too late,
Charlie.
guys.
Okay.
And then the third one, I think it's just we're really trying to enforce more so falling behind on matches. We know there's injuries and things like that, but we're really going to start enforcing forfeits for people that are falling behind on matches because they just aren't bowling matches. Like you can't tie up the whole league. And I know by the end of the season we're gonna have a hard cutoff date, and if you don't bowl it, you're 0-14. Like there's no way around it.
Did Charlie showing up make you remember that rule?
It did.
Yeah.
Charlie, bowl your matches.
No offense.
So I think that's pretty much it.
That's really it. And a lot of it, I think what a lot of what we're doing is a lot of rule-based was grievance-based for a long time, which had its place. Streaming wasn't as prominent when this league first started or in the first 5 years of the league. Now you're luckily seeing all these matches, so we want to make sure that we are looking professional, acting professional, because it's a representation of the league and as you as a person too. So like we want to make sure that all of your antics are, buttoned up and somewhat professional.
So Micah, we always say like we prioritize the older matches first, but you would technically get credit for the matches. Like if we're in week 6 and you haven't bowled week 2 yet, but you've bowled like 9, 10, 11, and 12, you're not going to be considered behind. You're obviously bowling your matches, but I would keep nudging you. Hey, any update on that match with so-and-so and vice versa? There'd probably be a group chat at that point. So while you can bowl in any order, the idea is like by week 2, you'd have your week 2 first and second match bowled, third and whatever, and you can go ahead. But if you end up skipping one, keep it in your mind that you got to get that one in sooner rather than later. Yeah. That's probably the best way I could put it.
Yep. And Ryan, the class that is West, I think it's below your average range for that. I think you're a high teens bowler, Ryan, and I think it's West D, I want to say, is where the bowler is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening and they are in the West, and I want to say about a sub 90, let's see what the average is. In the wrong sheet.
While Danny looks that up, Ryan, I'll answer your question. If the other person forfeits, but you're willing to bowl, you will bowl against their average for 5 games and their total minus 25. If that's going to be at league officer discretion, that you have exhausted all options to bowl. If we find out both of you are having trouble, or it can't be like, oh, you're ignoring his messages, so he forfeits, you bowl. We have to have like a proof, like a paper trail that you're at least attempting to get these matches in, but then you'll be able to bowl against their average and total minus 25.
Yeah, we did that minus 25. That was done. I think that was actually one of those votes that we were really going back and forth on.
Yeah.
On how to handle that, whether it should be 5 off the average, 3 off the average. And then I think we kind of compromised on per string as you're bowling the average, but for total it's minus 25. Yep. Just to make it a little bit more of, because sometimes it's hard to bowl yourself. I know some people thrive in it, but when you don't have anybody pacing you and you're just chasing a number and you have to hit that number 5 strings in a row, sometimes that's, I think, harder than not. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's the fact of bowling by yourself is already tough enough to make sure you pace yourself, but then you're really bowling basically 10 straight boxes. Like you can take a break, whatever. But that's why somebody like McIntosh prefers to bowl that head-to-head style, because he likes to have somebody pacing him. Like he can bowl no matter what. Like we've seen Mac can bowl regardless of his situation, but he just prefers to have that pacer. Oh, on cue, Mike McIntosh, right in the
Weird
chat.
Situation he had in the finals.
Yeah, that's that was a tough finals to watch.
Still went up there and threw a $142.
Yeah, he just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go do my thing. I'm sure I know Mac as a competitor, and I know that's not how he wanted to win. So I know he's chomping at the bit to go defend that title again and win back to back.
So for the D South, we're looking for somebody anywhere 97 and below. 90 to 97 is the range of this league. You would be taking over a 0-0 record. If you're interested, shoot me a message and I will talk to the committee. And if we feel like it's the right fit in the right house and everything else, and you'll be good to go. So I'll be making a post also. But again, D West. If you're interested, you can message me or you can message Sean Sears.
Yes, and Mac, no, I did not see the comment first. I was talking about it because we're on a little bit of a delay. You're hearing us after we're already talking about it, so Facebook adds like a X amount of second delay to it, just in case Danny goes on a profanity-laced tirade.
He can block it.
Okay, Craig had a question on streaming. If there is time, there's always time. We have me and Danny love to talk, so we can stay here as long as you guys want us here. Access the ACST page to stream. I don't want to be a hog, but I love to represent the West. Is there a best practice for which matches I stream, or should I just stream on my personal page? Stream every single match you can to the ACST Facebook page. If you go to stream to the ACST, unfortunately has new rules that only one stream is allowed at a time. So what you have to do is then you can go to your personal page. You can link up with a stream Facebooks like Candlepin Corner, 3 Ball Spare, Candlepin Bowling Network, and see if they want to offer you the opportunity to stream if you need it as a backup, or at the worst case, your personal page. We just ask, make it public, share it to Candlepin Chat, and then we try and kind of share it to ACST page as well later on so we can see everything all in one spot.
Yep. Always trying to promote it through the ACST page if we can. If you need access, let me know. And I know this is going to blow up in my face, but if you message me a question and I don't reply within a day, message me again, because chances are it got buried. Even if I read it, sometimes like I'll look at it real quick and think I'll get back to it, but then I get a lot of messages about questions and grievances all day long. And sometimes when I scroll, I realize like from 3 days ago, I have unread messages. It's never like friends, family. It's the bowlers asking me questions. So don't be afraid to keep messaging me, because I don't want it to ever feel, I don't want you to feel like you're being ignored. Chances are I had it and it fell off. I don't have the best memory, but, and then Mike has been also putting it to the ACST YouTube page, because Facebook's also now been deleting lives after, I think it's like 30 or 90 days or something.
There's a setting when people stop the live on how long you want to keep it for, and there's a forever setting. So it's just,
I think they changed it again.
They changed it again?
Yeah, so that's what I was telling people, but now they're just like clearing house.
Oh, wonderful. They don't want to bog it down, but that's fine. Uploaded to we'll be able to get them uploaded to Facebook. Mike has been good about getting those taken care of. But again, if Danny is unavailable, we have a committee. Message any treasurer. If they don't have the answer, they'll come to the chat and say, "Hey, so and so wants to know this," and we'll get the answer going. So
yeah.
I think if they forfeit, you shouldn't have to bowl. No free points in the ACST, Ryan.
Yeah, that's been like a hard set rule. I know you and I have talked about it. I know you've explained my whole point too is I think it's in a tough situation where, say you got a guy, we'll just say A for number's sake, and you have a guy who's like a 118, 117, 118 bowler, and you bowl against him, and you take 10. And you and I were even for the last playoff spot. And we both had this one bowler left. You take 10 off them. It knocked this bowler out of the playoffs, and then they just turn around and say, well, F it, I'm not bowling my last match. It's a waste of my time, and it's against me. So now I just get a free 14 points. Like, how is that fair to anybody else who bowled that individual?
Right.
Like, that's kind of how we look at it. It's not just because the bowler you're bowling against is 0-14. It's okay. Well, that's your opinion. We're gonna move on. But you're 0-14. The forfeiting bowler is 0-14 regardless of what you do. You have to earn your points. We don't give anything away for free.
Yeah, so. And we get extreme circumstances to use as examples, but say the difference is if I take 14 in my next match, I'm going to win my division, and I'm going to get a $300 pay bump for winning the division versus coming in 6th. And I say,
that happens a lot.
Hey, I'm supposed to bowl John Doe here. John, why don't you come here? I'll give you $100 to forfeit our next match, so I get a free 14. I'm still net positive by gaining an extra $200 there. Like it's extreme circumstances, but
Ryan's saying
that's
the other person should have bowled better. But the idea is you don't even have to bowl, and that's not fair. Like, it's putting the onus on them to bowl when you don't have to. So the idea is you bowl better, because if you take 14, then you're fine. If you can't bowl better, then you're going to lose.
Yep.
So you bowl better.
They forfeit. They can't earn any points.
Yeah,
but you just don't get free points. So they can't like say, oh, I have 120 average. I'm facing the 110 average bowler out of the A. I'm just gonna mail it in because I'll take a free 14 because I don't think they can hit my average. Doesn't work that way. Yeah. They're not gonna get anything. That person still has to beat their score, their average.
So, all right, I think that's pretty much it for rules, unless somebody else has anything.
Yeah, and as the questions come up, we'll readdress, because, like I said, we are on a little bit of a delay, but we'll address them as they come up more here. But I think it was 2 years ago now, you put in or was it last year, the scores table? Was it last year the debut of scores table for our purposes?
It was either last year or the year before.
So yeah, the Google Forms, which are in a cute little QR code on the score sheets that I think Micah prepares to print to PDF for people. They're QR codes on top, so that you scan in, you select your opponent, you select your name, you put what week it is. And now I think this year we added house for average tracking purposes to make that easy.
Realistically, it should always be at the home bowler's house. But if there's a situation where the only day that the two bowlers can bowl, neutral house, like, it's happened. Doesn't happen a ton. It probably happens with 1,500 matches. It maybe happens 5 times, maybe 10 times. And it's just, we want to make sure we're tracking the right houses. I'm trying to think of another situation where that might happen. But yeah, so it's just one more thing we're doing to make sure that we're better tracking averages.
Because I think it was the New Hampshire. We'll track those averages. Is that right? Is it New Hampshire? I know they want them for Mass.
Mass and New Hampshire both tracked them for states.
So it's something. And one more thing we're doing to make sure.
Different rules too, by the way.
Which is even better. Makes it so much more fun to track those. So you input the scores very easily through Google Sheets. We like to see them shared to the Facebook group as well. But yeah, we make sure you can't just post them there. You have to submit through Google Forms. And it inputs it to a nice scores table where myself, Anthony, Karen, or Danny will take that score from there, copy it into our master sheet where it autofills everything based on what you input. And that's when in that time frame, we look for errors, we look for duplicates. We tend to see them pretty quickly, that somebody's average shot up from 115 to a 230 real fast. So we tend to catch those errors.
Everyone tells me if I don't.
Oh yeah. You hear it. You hear it, that's for sure. And it's something that was input for, I think they had something similar, a form years ago that Frank had on the ACST website, but it still wasn't as intuitive as what we're doing now. It didn't have the drop down. I think you just manually typed everything in, but just into an online form. You're able to select house, week, bowler names are only there for that division. So there is a different QR code for each north and south and west. Do they have their own separate ones?
So there's 8 of them. Nope, 9 of them. 9 of them.
Yeah.
Because there's A, B, C, D, E, West A, West B, West C, West D.
Yep. And then, Micah then pulls that, and he has his stat program he runs in addition to the one that Danny and I built for ACST. He has his stuff he runs on the side to kind of put his bow on it, put his Micah touch. But yeah, it's been so good to get intuitive, and again, inspired me when I took over Friday Stats this year to kind of Frankenstein out of what we had for ACST, what I had for one of my Wednesday leagues, and what I think Mac and Cheech. So Mac, I think, built the stat sheet initially for Friday Pro. Then Cheech took it over, made some improvements. Now I took it over and really put the juice to it, and big thanks to you for helping me out with that. But it's just the kind of work that you put in for ACST that made me say, hey, I can have Danny take a look at this, and I know that he's going to take this and shine it up really nice for what I need. And add all kinds of flair and pizzazz, and you certainly did.
Well, I just remember when I was asking you how you get the names, you're like, well, I have to input it here, here, and here. And I'm like, I bet you there's a way you can do it just once.
Yep. And it worked. When I did the stats this weekend, it was phenomenal. So it was great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Lane, you said that gets...
live now.
What's that?
That it's all live now.
Yeah.
So anybody can look at it at any time.
Yep. And that was my big thing. I'm big on, I know Google Sheets is not the most intuitive compared to Excel itself.
Right.
I like Google Sheets for its online base. I know there's now OneDrive Excel that kind of does the same thing as what Google does, but I think when you go to the Excel version online, you do lose some of the features anyway. So it was kind of I'm familiar with using the Drive version versus the OneDrive version. So yeah, it was so much better, and now that it's there, people are still going to ask when they're going to get emailed, because people do like it. I've had a couple people email me and say, hey, can I have the Excel version? So my first week I sent it via Excel. I sent the link and I posted a link on Facebook. So cover all the bases. But yeah, no, it's good to have all this live stuff. The more intuitive we can get, eventually we're just going to be out of jobs to input stats because AI is going to pull the data itself and do it all for us. Excel nerds unite. That is for sure. Me and Danny are an Excel
I'm
power
sitting there
team.
and I'm like, Excel needs Unite. What is Unite? I'm like staring at this, trying to figure out what the hell he was trying to tell me.
Is that a new
That
power
makes
system?
way more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta learn what this is. I
Yeah,
was
so
nerding out for a second.
get your Chat GPT and what
I know,
Unite
right?
is for that. But yeah, no. So the sheets there, the stats update in real time. I've actually last year when Jordan was a part of ACST, Jordan didn't come back this year. We can yell at him later for that. But when it came time to the end of the year, he was scoreboard watching, so he knows that I had a hand in updating the scores from one to the other. So be like, hey, can you? I just put that out. Can you send it? Can you move it over so I can see what the standings are now? Lane, you said did that get sent out? Do you mean the Friday stats we were talking about, or do you mean like the new score sheet? I'm not sure. I just want to clarify what you're looking for to say, because I think the answer to both is yes, because I believe that Danny posted all the sheets under the feet. If you go to the Bowlers Only page and click on Featured, there's a big post with a bunch of links there. So if it is Friday stats, those went out on the Friday page as well as email. So if you're on the email chain, you would have received them. Allie, are you an Excel nerd too? Team Hammer Barn. Going to be all about Excel next year. New score sheet. Okay, so the PDF version of the score sheet, is that out? I don't know if that's...
So the one that I did not have the QR codes. That was something that Micah did. I don't know if he's made the one, because the ones from last year won't work, obviously, because it'll bring you to last year's.
Yep.
So if he's got one with QR codes, you'd have to go talk to him.
There's the answer. Lane, I posted it, but I'll DM you a copy. There we go.
There you go.
Make shirts for the QR code or the Excel, just shirts with the QR code for every. That's the thing for next year, Kate. When you do shirts, every division put the QR code on the shirt so that they can just scan their opponent.
Just scan themselves.
Yeah, scan yourself, scan your opponent, make it much easier. Could we have each home house possibly print out a few and have them at their location? I don't even have a printer. Mac, what year is it? I don't have a printer either. But I know Academy kept a bunch behind the desk. I don't know if they were the newer versions, but they at least had the score sheets, which I think I can print some out at work and bring them to Josh tomorrow night when I'm there for House League. I don't mind doing that. I'll print a fat stack of them. I'm not weeding a QR code. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. That's 1,000% fair. We could order them through one of those websites that already weed it for you, ready to transfer over. So, but yeah, no, it's that's enough work just weeding the ACST logos and getting all the names on those. You are doing yeoman's work.
So I can actually hear the cricket cutting the vinyl, like, because she's in the room, like it's downstairs, but it's like right around this corner, and I can hear the machine going right now.
Yep. Yeah, I think my wife's is
called Excel.
My wife's is over there somewhere, the cricket, and same thing. Like when it was ACBT season to do the shirts, it was just name print out, name print out, name print out. Hear the ding of the press because it's shutting off because it took too long for her to print everything. All that fun stuff.
So I do not help Kate with the shirts in any way. And
that's probably for the best.
But well, don't get ahead of me. So she was laying out the shirts downstairs like 2 years ago when she first started doing them. And I said, do you need any help? And she goes, well, with what? And I was like, well, I can put the names on and press them. And she looked down at the shirts, looked up at me, looked down at the shirts, looked back up at me and said, so don't take this the wrong way. But the names have to go on like really, really straight. And my name's attached to this.
Yep.
So, and when I got it, I went back upstairs.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, because I will say from doing the press, especially with names that go across the shoulders, my wife will always say that doing polo shirts is the worst thing because she has to take the press, the heat mat, and put it inside the shirt so the buttons don't press into the name because like you can feel the buttons through the press. So she has to do it like she does hers a certain way. That's why she's like, it's just a little bit extra step. Not a lot more work, but I can't imagine doing 100 and how many bowls? 184 if everybody orders a shirt.
I think she's got 60 for like that first rush came in.
So call it 120 shirts overall she's going to do.
Because she's already getting messages now. So like for another batch coming through. But
once a month. She does them for once a month too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she should have a business or something to do
Yeah.
that.
So for people who don't know, she's got a job. She
She
has
does.
children.
Yeah, she's got a life.
This
So
isn't this isn't her means of income.
so what we're saying is next time you see Kate, you thank her for all the hard work she's put into the ACST shirts, once a month shirts, and all the other stuff she does in the interim, running ACBT, all the fun stuff that goes with
That's
that. So
wild.
make sure you
It's
thank her.
wild.
I'm gonna go back to a comment we got a while ago. I think it was Dave LaRoche who wanted to touch on sponsorships on the shirts.
That's right.
So anything that you want to do, and forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn on this, anything you want to do with a sponsor is between you and the sponsor. If you want them to pay for a shirt, if you need Kate to send you the logo, she's done that in the past for people, like if they want to get their own shirts and have them made. But anything you and a sponsor for ACST, we have had sponsors before that have paid for the registration, they've bought shirts, whatever the case may be. I've had somebody that sent me, hey, my company's going to send you a check for all my home matches because they're sponsoring me for the season. That is between you and the sponsor. If that check never showed up, I'm not calling the company and saying like, hey, this was supposed to be issued. Can you give me a check number and blah, blah, blah. Nope, not doing that. I do that enough at work. I'm not doing it for this as well. You reach out to them and find out where that is.
Yeah, going back to these shirts, I'm just gonna say it. If you got a long last name, my wife probably don't like you.
Yeah, Fabrizio Smith was a long name on there. That was a tough one. So yeah, but at least there's no like
something up the stairs, but I can't hear it.
at least there's no like Salta La Macchia like the Red Sox used to
Yeah.
have.
That was like from like rib cage to rib cage.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Yeah, so I think that pretty much covers.
Bram Chick, I'm calling you out. She says.
What the hell was I gonna say? Yeah, so I think that pretty much covers everything that we wanted to go over, right? We went over the schedule, standings. I'll post it to Facebook too. A few people messaged. I wasn't even thinking. They were like, "Well, if we aren't in the ACST, how do we follow it?" So I will be posting that on on the Candlepin chat page as well. So that way anybody can watch it. Follow their favorite bowlers, family members, things like that. We do have a bowlers only page. I was thinking about adding like a fans of ACST page, only because I don't want to bog down Candlepin chat with ACST stuff. If you've never been in the ACST, there's a lot of posts.
Listen, not for nothing, I say that with utmost respect. If Paul Grant can bog down Candlepin chat, ACST can bog down Candlepin chat.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's excessive.
Yeah, and I think you pick and choose what you post. Like it doesn't have to be. I think we do a weekly post, like hey, every Sunday night, here's what happened this week in ACST. Because then
that's a one post thing. I'm talking if every bowler is posting their matches, their scores.
Yeah, no, I don't think we do. I think bowlers only for that. I think the results is what people care about, and the streams is what people care about, and of course this podcast that will wrap it all up in a cute little bow with our beautiful faces on it. So I think that's so. And if you can't watch this live, I'm just gonna say go to Candlepin Corner on YouTube, where these will be posted the next day, so you can watch at your leisure. You don't have to catch it live. You can like and subscribe. Emphasis on the subscribe, and catch this in the rerun the next day.
I'm gonna say this, so if you're watching the rerun, we're not answering your questions.
Yeah, that's fair. You can DM me your question, and I can try to answer it, but I will not be answering it during the video if you're not watching this live. Well, it's up on the ACSE YouTube page. No, Micah, this is for Candlepin Corner. This is not a match.
I lost the rights.
Yeah, I got an exclusive contract. It's like NFL Red Zone. We're gonna have commercial breaks in there on YouTube. But yeah,
anybody else have any questions?
Need to rewatch the beginning. Perfect. Subscribe on YouTube. Rewatch the beginning. I'm excited to see these West bowlers. That's what because there's a lot of really good West bowlers out there that don't get a lot of recognition because there's not a whole lot of streaming out there. Like I know Bob Lee moved out that way and he got some more streaming done through CBN. You see some of the stuff like
Did you see
Richie Mayer tournament?
Tim Soucy versus Cameron Green?
I watched some of it. That was I've seen Cam bowl a couple times, so I always enjoy watching him bowl. And Tim is just typically just such a level bowler, like just consistent.
598 to 593.
What a match! What a way to start the season.
And Cam also beat him in the last ring 141 to 133. So it's like Tim was the away bowler. I'm assuming Cam went second. So Tim put up that big number to catch the, obviously get the string and total. And Cam just answers right back with a 41. Like, that's a wild week one.
Yeah,
start.
yeah, it would, and that's what you love to see. Like that's the stuff that gets people going and watching. Like it doesn't have, and it doesn't have to be 590 to 590.
Just
like
close matches.
Just close matches are so fun. Like the comebacks in the last game, stuff like that. It's just. It's awesome to watch because with Candlepin, you know that you could throw an 85 game and follow it up with a 160. Like we've all done that, and the other way too. You throw 160.
More so, I've done the other way.
Yeah, yeah. You always have that fall, but I think that's a big thing this year is seeing some of these bowlers that Tim Soucy I would get to see at some Pro Series events and then Worlds and Mixed Worlds. So it's good to see him like on a regular basis. That's gonna be a fun thing to kind of watch some of these bowlers that aren't regularly promoted. Yeah, absolutely. Because there's a lot of Western New England bowlers that don't get any recognition unless they move out to big tournaments this way. So it's good to see them kind of on their home turf.
Yeah. Maine, are you listening?
Yeah. Listen,
come back.
We missed. Yeah, we're working on things. Come on, let's go. We just built West. We just follow the model of the West. Let's see how it works and bring back Maine. Because we need to see it. And you know what? ACST Canada. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get. We got to get the shirts.
Maritime Candlepin Singles Tour.
I'm in. Let's see how big we can get this.
Yeah, I think the problem in Canada, and I think Calvin said this before on Ripping the Rack, is the distance between houses up there is just so vast.
It would basically be like a singles league where almost like your conference is out of your house, basically. Like not that mixed match. So you're really not traveling that often. Like it would have to be something like that.
We have some good comedians in the comments. First, Micah with the ACST, and then Kate with the ceiling is the limit for Weber. Yeah, because I don't remember it's ceiling. For anybody that hasn't seen that video,
go see it.
Yeah, go check it out. I don't know where it's posted. It's posted somewhere, but you go find it. Mark Weber and the ceiling tile did not get along. I think was that one of their money matches. Yeah. So let's see. We're at the 2025 ACST. We are in week 1. You as the commissioner, what are you most excited for this year, and what's your goal for this year for ACST, and what are you most excited for?
Just having a smooth season. Believe it or not, I feel like I got less questions this year than I did last year, which I think is very surprising given the West. So I don't know if they're blowing up Sean Sears. But just seeing the new bowlers, a lot of the names I haven't seen before. The A South is really going to be shaken up this year because of the wide gap. So looking for any surprises. I know Kyle Hetty was that big surprise last year that went on that early run. Just looking to see who's Terry. Guys like Terry, 601 out the gate. Started in the F, went to the D where he wasn't even the top bowler in the D, but said, no, I want a shot at the C, and opens out the gate 14-0. That I want to see stories like that throughout the season.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's the big thing. I love to see the standout bowlers. Last year, I think the big one you can point a finger at is Dimitri Delis, who was he D last year, C last year? C last year, ended with a high enough average to be in the A, which the North A did not have as big of a dropout as the South A did in terms of the mix-up. So he found himself right smack dab in the middle of A North after starting.
He was next to his brother, right?
Yeah. So it was great to see somebody like that just come out. And it's the same thing. I'm looking for the next bowler that pops out and all of a sudden finds themselves on a Worlds team or a Friday team or what the case may be. And like I said, Terry's the big one. Like he asked me. I've known Terry a very long time. He asked me straight up, what do you think I should do when it comes to C or D? And I said, if you go to the C, you're going to get better competition. You're going to have an opportunity to really kind of thrive. You could fall. Like it happened. We've seen bowlers that thought they were big fish, small pond, jumped into the next division, and it did not work out for them.
And sometimes it's demoralizing.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And it happens. We've all fallen flat on our face in this game, like sometimes literally. You just gotta face the challenges in front of you and learn to get better. And I think that's Terry's going to be a good example of that. Hopefully, he can continue the momentum after tonight and see how high he can soar in the C division.
Absolutely.
All right. Last call for questions. I don't see anything else coming in.
Wester said he was going to fill in all the question gaps. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Yeah, Craig, you fire away. You send them right to Danny Finn or a
So
committee
if you
member,
have
and we'll get them.
any questions on ACST, go to Craig Wester. He will filter them to me, and that
Yeah,
way I only have to answer them once.
yeah, he's gonna make sure he vets the questions and sends them over. He's the
That's,
question liaison.
don't actually blow up this poor guy's phone.
Yeah, somebody's gonna hear that and actually start just messaging him.
I know.
All right, so I think that is going to be the wrap up for us tonight. I think it was a good intro here into what the league is, what to expect as a bowler, as a fan, what to be on the lookout for from terms of streaming to scores, all that included, and for this podcast. We're going to aim for weekly to bi-weekly, I think, for our purposes, and see what we can come up with, how the stats are rolling in, what Danny and I have for time, because again, we're both parents and work full-time jobs and bowl quite a bit. So we're going to kind of see what we can do here. But we're going to do our best to be on at least every other week.
Yeah, and like I said, we're going to try to answer as many questions that way, because this is actually in a way to try to make everyone's life easier so they don't have to ask the question or we don't have to answer the question so many times. And again, don't be embarrassed to ask. Like, definitely ask the question. I don't want that to come off in a negative way. But we just felt like this was one way that we could kind of have a group setting where we can all talk and you can see the league kind of from our perspective as well.
And I'm going to say one more thing. We've tried this before, but I think we're with the mass amount of people that we have and the amount of streaming we're seeing, if you see a big shot, a cool game, anything like that, don't hesitate to send it to me. You can clip it yourself. You can give me a game, a box number, a timestamp. As Facebook is great that you can look right below and say timestamps is the best way you can do it. And you see a shot that, like, oh my Lord, this needs to be highlighted. Send it to me. I'll clip it. I'll pull it up when we're live and do a top 5, 10 shots of the week if we can get them. So be on the lookout for these. Send them my way, Cory, Aleci, or the Candlepin Corner Facebook, whichever's easier for you, and get them to me, because I will do a top 5 ACST shots of the week. Like, I have no issue doing that. So even if it's not live, I can make that video and post it to the ACST page every week. I have no problem with that. Sports Center get a top 10. Why can't we?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good to see you. And Allie, I did see you sign up for our 9-pin tournament. So glad to see that too. Candlepin Corner Christmas Classic. Yeah, I started early because Jordan already yelled at me because we're only about 3 weeks early from when we posted last year. But I order 2 championship belts for that are Christmas themed. So I like to order those with enough time. So I like to make sure that there's enough interest to justify ordering those before. That's the hard part. I have to.
I think there's going to be interest for a long while.
Yeah, I know. But look at you. You still doubt Outrun the Bear sometimes, and that thing fills pretty quickly. So, and you're still like, well, it might work. It might be a success. Who knows? But yeah, so yeah, same thing. And especially this year with the introduction of a women's division, where the women will be get prize fund different from the men. They're going to have their own separate prize fund and separate belt. I want to make sure that we give enough time to get as many people interested and involved as we can to get both the men's and women's belt ordered. So, yeah, it's going to be I'm super excited for it. So it's going to be fun. A lot of ACST to go over in the next few months leading up to that. I will continue to bother people about the Christmas Classic until it is full on this podcast, and I will continue to remind everybody to like and subscribe on YouTube if you're listening to this the next day. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap. We're just about hitting an hour, just under an hour. Jeff says that's awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. It's a great tournament. So find a shift. There's 3 shifts. Typically work for everybody, 9, 12, and 3 to make sure everybody can get there at some point. It is the week before Christmas, so I know that can be a little bit of a tough time of year, but nonetheless, we still enjoy doing it, and we love seeing people in their Christmas sweaters show up to Academy Lanes and bowl in a 9-pin tournament and just have fun. That's why we started a couple years ago. It's because people forget bowling is supposed to be fun, so we try to emphasize that. But yeah, so that ACST is here. We are 18 weeks away from the playoffs starting.
We want to get done on time this year.
Yeah, we want to get done. So again, looking at Nate Lees, we're looking at you. We want to see everybody back. We want to see a great playoffs happen. And again, we squeezed all the matches into one day this year for the playoffs. Longer days with the West too. I think the West is doing their own thing out there, so I'm sure they're going to be on a different day.
Yeah, there's no way we can do.
And now it's only 5 finals now because
we really only had 5.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sorry,
unfortunately, sorry, Jeremy. Who's home? But we're wishing Jeremy a speedy recovery. We're hoping he want to see him back at 100%, maybe for like no later than June. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like a great time to be at peak performance.
Great time. Or just go earlier and get under the 120 average. You never know. I mean, just saying.
Right.
Who knows? But either way, Danny, appreciate
Cory, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. Like I said, when I did the randoms for divisions, I forgot how much fun it is to be on here and just kind of talk to people and get all kinds of comments on the stream. So I look forward to this for the rest of the year, see what we can do, see what kind of stuff we can come up with. If I can get some video clips of people making some crazy shots, stats. We'll talk about our surprises of the week, our expectations for people. We can even do some predictions if there are matches booked that we can say, hey, this is going to be a tough matchup. I foresee so-and-so doing this. But we have to be a little bit unbiased since we're, league officials.
I think it's going to get more interesting down the stretch where
Yes.
It's not necessarily this is what I think this bowler is going to do. It's this is what this bowler needs to do.
Yes.
Or they're going to be on the outside looking at.
As the divisions shape up and the people are on the bubble for the playoffs,
that's
definitely.
Where I think this is going to get fun.
Yeah, absolutely is. It's going to be a lot of fun all season, so make sure you follow Candlepin Corner on Facebook, like and subscribe on YouTube, because me and Danny will be here all season giving you all of our takes on ACST, answering your questions, and just hanging out, having a good time.
Absolutely.
So until next time, I'm Cory, that's Danny, and we are here representing ACST right on Candlepin Corner.